I'm Gucci. He's Minucci. And this is another episode of Gucci Minucci. The Bogus segment. Put something on it.
Put something on it, nigga. That's how I go. Talking all that shit. Put something on it, nigga. That's new 2021 shit. Niggas be talking that bullshit. Put something on it. You believe in what you say, nigga. Put something on it. You feel me?
Time to finish what I started. It's a beautiful feeling to know I put my heart in. I'm all in. Picking up the broken pieces. I done had my share of lessons and no life a teacher. This beat be talking to my soul like it was a preacher. This for them late nights on the road, so turn up your speaker flow, call, turn up the heater. Bet on me, go all in. If I try and I fail, I'ma try it again. I won't stop until I win. Time to finish what I started. It's a beautiful feeling to know I put my heart in. I'm all in. Everything I wanna know, I'm really about to have it to it.
You feel me?
Yeah. Bleed it.
Damn. So you think he gonna be here soon and shit?
Yeah. He could be here after a while.
You got that vibe?
Oh man.
Do we?
I don't even want none of it.
Oh, really? Like that? I need that.
I don't even want none of it. So what was we talking about earlier, man?
About what?
With this.
The no grease.
No, we get to that one later. You know what I'm saying? I think we're gonna start out with the. So you want to start out with that, or the
It's up to you.
or the whole sensitivity.
Oh yeah, let's talk about that shit, nigga.
The sensitivity of the whole matter, because this is it is. You don't think it's a sensitive matter?
What is?
Just things in general. Things in general is a sensitive matter, man. You gotta be. Sometimes you gotta be sympathetic to shit, man.
Sympathetic and sensitive are two different things. Nigga. Like, you can be sympathetic and not be oversensitive.
I guess it could be a crossbreed or a hybrid in some way, some shape, form, or fashion.
So why you bring that up, sensitivity?
Why I bring it up? So we've been trying to get feedback. You know, cause we want feedback to see, you know, how the show's going, or the whole what we conducting here on YouTube and on our platform. So I had a lady come in the shop.
Uh-huh.
I had a lady come in the shop, and she started talking about the show.
Mm.
So first thing she said was, the show is straight, but y'all just don't seem to mesh. Y'all don't seem to mesh. He's very opinionated, and it's like, I just don't understand. You have an opinion too. She was talking to me. You have an opinion too, and I guess it's just. She said it's just annoying that he, I guess, jumps on your opinion like you do. So that
annoying? That's the word she used?
Yeah, annoying. So that was just one, you know, feedback that we got from it. And so, you know, like we was talking, I guess it goes back to the whole sensitivity of things. People feel sensitive.
Is she being sensitive? Sometimes she just being observant. Observant,
but the way you said it when I told you about it, because that's why I told her, I said, you know, put the comment on there,
right.
Comment and say how you feel about what's being talked about, or
if she really watching it and ain't just talking shit.
Yeah, well, but anyway, you went on to say, oh, she's probably just sensitive. So
Is that what I said? I hate when you put words in my mouth.
No, you said it because then you sit there and told me, you was like, you sensitive too. Mm-hmm. I was like, well, you know, sometimes, and that's why we said we was going to have this conversation about sensitivity, because it's very sensitive. People are very sensitive nowadays. I don't fuck about this shit. I mean, I know you don't. What I want to do was clear the air to let people know that sometimes your people you be around, they should be able to check you in the right way. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't want to be around somebody who's just gonna let you.
And the whole thing with that is, I expect the same, man. Like, I ain't gonna fucking bitch out if you be like, nigga, fuck that shit you talking. If you got a better point, better argument, then state your argument, nigga. Like, and if it makes more sense than mine, then I'm gonna get that to you. It ain't ego and shit. It's like, you know, we talking about, you know, and, you know, it go back to that whole, it ain't necessarily, you know, it's not something that I want to do or want to, you know, be like. I ain't got the patience for that shit, man. Like, you shouldn't be having the same conversations over and over and over again. Niggas be playing dumb and shit. So no, I'm not necessarily talking about although we had that conversation too. Just like last time when we was having a conversation about the Jay-Z shit. You acting like we ain't had a conversation already. Like, I don't really follow Jay like that. But I know you full of shit.
I mean,
so I'ma fucking call you on it. And then when you decide you want to admit that you being full of shit, then you come clean with it. You feel me?
But I told you.
But I expect the same thing from you.
Did I tell you what the reaction was gonna be? Did I tell you?
I don't give a fuck, man.
No, I'm just saying.
And my whole thing with that is, you gotta give it a few. You gotta, you know, if people checking it out.
You say that. Well, just give my props to say that I was going that I said the reaction from people was going to be.
And she's not the first one to say it. My daughter,
you know what
my daughter said the same
that's why
shit.
They say you annoying because you don't give me my props. No, I'm just joking.
No, they say I'm annoying because I be fucking aggressive with it and impatient with it, which I understand.
Yeah. But you know, that's how you are. That's how, and I am the way I am, and we're gonna continue to be that way.
But it ain't that I think I'm fucking smarter than you or think I'm, you know, better and shit. I want you to treat me the same fucking way if I be talking that bullshit.
Hey, I mean, because what's the old saying? Iron sharpens iron.
Yeah.
So, you know,
just like I'm learning, I hope you learning.
You want to be a dull.
People learning.
You want to be a dull knife, then be sensitive to the truth, because that's what it's going to be. That's what you're going to. That's to me. I say you end up being a dull knife if you're sensitive to the truth. If you
we ain't talking about no fucking happy shit here, man.
If you accept your truth,
we're talking about real shit here, man. Like,
there's no reason you can't rebuttal. There's no reason you can't have a rebuttal as long as the rebuttal is respectful and makes sense.
And that's one thing I try not to ever do is disrespect you. We have that talk all the time. Like, I respect you, man, as a man first. And who the fuck am I? You feel me? So, you know, I expect the same shit back. Like, if I'm talking some bullshit, call me on that shit. Cause I'm gonna call you on that shit.
That's real shit. And then continue to move on, have a conversation.
Yeah, people say it's a way to do it. It's a way. That's your way to do it. Fuck you. Not fuck you. You have a right to have your way of doing it. Just like I can do my own fucking way. I feel like this shit is missing, nigga. Like, you know, I feel like niggas need to be more raw with it. Shit. They be holding hands and shit.
Oh man, I'm sorry for the audio, folks.
So it's one thing.
Sorry for the audio. So
soft.
Sorry.
And it's another thing that, you know, if you're trying to learn some shit and I'm just too aggressive and too abrasive with it, then you have a point in that. Because I'm, you know, that's a detriment to the whole teaching side of it. If it's so abrasive that you can't bear to listen, I respect that. You know, that's the only time when it really matters to me, if it's affecting the whole point of the conversation. If you get it from me being how I am, who the fuck cares how I am?
Right.
I get it.
I get it.
Oh.
So, you know.
Now, I got niggas that cuss me the fuck out and talk to me like, nigga, what the fuck is you talking about? Like, and I be like, fuck. You know, and I'll be like, and then it's like, when the nigga make his point, it's like, shit, I need to get on my shit. You know what I'm saying? If you want this motherfucker talking about real shit, which I consider the shit we do real shit, we ain't talking about shit other people talking about necessarily. I'm not concerned with people, little, like I say, little sensibilities and shit. Because most of the time, if you sensitive like that, you don't know shit. You've been hiding from shit all your life. You don't want to know what's real. You happy in your little situation, and you ain't trying to learn nothing. Then turn this shit off, nigga. What the fuck is you doing watching it? With your little soft ass, motherfucker.
See, niggas done started something. Got this nigga started, man.
I think I've been saying it the whole time. I don't care.
Yeah.
I mean, y'all niggas said that shit when we first started doing it. You said that shit a long time ago, nigga. God damn, you rough with it.
I told you what it was gonna bring. I told you this. You know? I mean, it is what it is. We're gonna continue to keep doing what we're doing.
My opinion is always, who the fuck am I to judge you? And that's how I look at it from your perspective. Who the fuck are you to judge? I'm not here to judge nobody. But if we having a conversation on some real shit, there's no time for be playing dumb and I don't understand when you do and all that bullshit.
But
all you care about is how he's saying it.
How does that affect society? Does sensitivity affect society? Could it affect society in a wrong, you know?
Yeah, they call it fucking nanny state, nigga. Fucking politically correct world. Everything got to be politically correct instead of real. We got words that describe shit that don't really describe shit no more.
But there are things
you got. What was it? What is it?
You got words that describe shit that don't describe things.
Yeah,
anymore.
they try to use words. They try to evolve words to lose the impact, lose the power. You know, you had shell shock, nigga. When motherfuckers came back from war, they was shell shock. Ain't no way, goddamn. You know what the shell shock mean? It ain't hard to figure out what shell shock mean. Then they had what was the next one? PTSD is the current one. It was, you know, some other shit they was using. A softer word to describe the same thing. I forget. And now it's fucking post-traumatic stress disorder. What the fuck do that even mean? I like shell shock. Shell shock tell me what the fuck I need to know. Nigga tell you I'm shell shocked. Nigga, I'm staying away from you because you told me enough. Nigga tell me I got PTSD. I don't really know what to make of that. What the fuck does that even mean? You know what I'm saying? It's not. So what's the reason for changing words and changing terms and all that shit? The whole breakdown of language shit. They use words for multiple meanings and shit in order to confuse people and shit. Orwellian shit, some George Orwell shit, you know. We got peace czar, you know, war czar. Czar ain't even a fucking English word, it's a Russian word. Why y'all even using that word? Just government shit, czar. Since when, nigga? Since when we Russian? Why you using that word? Because people don't know what the fuck that is. A czar.
Nah, I don't.
Because it don't mean shit. It just mean what it's supposed to mean in Russian. Why are we using Russian word? Shit like that, man. Shit that I notice and I feel an obligation to pull other motherfuckers' coattails and shit. Like, yo, this is what's going on. When we have conversations about figuring out what the fuck is going on, it don't fucking matter how did the shit come out.
So it ain't the fact of being mean or disrespectful. It's just calling out the.
And I'm not being aggressive towards you necessarily.
This, that, and the third.
I'm aggressive towards the situation more so than at the person. Like, you know, I'm speaking with feeling about, you know, passion or whatever.
Right.
About the situation more so than the person.
Me saying,
and I want to get the point across.
Yeah.
So that whole patience thing and, you know, being sensitive, I could do better. But
I think patience is a good thing, though.
Patience? Absolutely. I feel like I'm patient. I'm better with kids than I am with adults. You feel me? I have a whole lot of patience when it come to kids because I get it. They learning for the first time. Niggas ain't learning for the first time.
Man, they might be. You don't know.
Might be what?
They might be learning for the first time.
You ain't learning for the first time when we just talked about the shit a week ago.
Oh no, not on that. Not on that tip.
Connect the dots, nigga. Think for your fucking self. I shouldn't have to explain all this shit.
I'm talking about like a first conversation with somebody.
You know what I'm saying?
What I was talking about.
And the whole thing, it go to if you care, then you gonna do whatever it takes to get it. Niggas don't care. Motherfuckers don't care. All they wanna, damn, he being mean. Fuck, a man, nigga, a man saying shit like that? Oh, he's so rough. That ain't even nothing for a man to say. I get women saying that. The same thing with the whole no more niggas crying on TV shit. I get that women gonna say, I want my son to be, to
sensitive,
expressive with his emotions and all that shit. But your father ain't got no fucking business saying that shit. I don't give a fuck, nigga. It is what it is. Your father ain't got no business saying the same thing your mama's saying. I want my son to express himself. I mean, that's just how I see it. So the woman gonna be sensitive, which is expected, but the man should be like, yeah, I get what you're saying. Even if you just give me I get what you're saying. I'm cool with that. You don't have to give me props or whatever. I don't even want props. I just want you to understand. You know what I'm saying? Like, niggas is having a problem with no more niggas crying on TV. Like, what you mean?
Somebody said something about that?
Yeah, man. A bunch of people, man. Like, what you mean crying? Like, what about, like, niggas looking for examples and shit? Ugh. You get what I'm saying, man. When you got motherfuckers got the cops on their ass and shit, and they going on Facebook Live. I don't know what to do. What are you doing? Show some goddamn smile. At least in public, maybe on TV, nigga. Really, like that nigga, what's that nigga name on CNN? Van Jones and shit. That nigga always crying and shit. That's he the one I made it up for. No more niggas crying. Him and that nigga who was delivering shit, and white people blocked him in the neighborhood and wouldn't let him leave. And this nigga in the car crying on Facebook Live because they wouldn't let him leave. You could cry, nigga. Don't fucking televise this shit. You feel that?
Oh, look, I got a news break. Mm-hmm. Colin Kaepernick could be a potential quarterback.
Yeah, really a quarterback.
I'm saying, I guess they're talking about him coming back.
You washed up, nigga. Who cares? You been washed up. He was washed up when he was still in the league. Man, that's what I'm saying. They just be fucking toying with us, man. They be toying with us.
I mean, they might let him come back though.
Who cares, nigga? You gonna be on the bench.
How you figure?
I feel what?
If he coming back, I'm sure they gonna play him.
It's about Jay-Z rolling that.
He's the director of Super Bowl entertainment. That's his role. So basically, he's supposed to make sure everything is in place. Everybody's in place.
What's your opinion on, say, like in this situation, right, where, to us, it appears a certain way, like they shitting on Colin Kaepernick, because he decided to kneel and shit, right? What's your opinion on, black people having a stance, and a black person goes outside of the black people and does dealings with the white people on some, no, I ain't tripping. I ain't got no time for that shit, man. We got to get to business. You know what I'm saying? We can't be worried about what they got to say. What's your opinion on that? Just that scenario.
Me personally, I mean, shit. I guess that's the only way you can get to it. That's the only way you can get to it. I don't know what else to say. If the only way you can get to it is to go outside of
get to what?
To get to the money. If that's the only way you can get to the money is to go outside of it, outside of your race, then what else can you say?
Well, I mean, simply outside of your race. It's like fucking
that's
diametric.
That's what you said.
I'm saying, like, you say outside of your race. It's deeper than outside of your race. This is like, what's your opinion on replacement players? What's your opinion on the main players going strike and some replacement motherfuckers going in a spot and, take, whatever. which is in turn killing the whole movement. You know what I'm saying? Not necessarily because people want the originals back, but you know, these interim in the meantime motherfuckers is kind of, you know, hurting their case. What you think about that?
I know this is gonna be a double standard, but as a player, I'm going to get that money. But as of right now, I'll be like, man, that's fucked up. Y'all killing the movement.
As a player, you what?
As a player,
as a replacement player.
Yeah, as a replacement player, I'll be like, man, I'm going to get that money. I mean, I know it's a double standard and it's crazy.
And if you notice, all this shit,
that's just how that shit rolls.
All this shit, if you look at it, money is the common denominator.
The common denominator.
So niggas are willing to be, you know, have principles, have, you know, certain, standards they live by. But when it come to money, when it come to money, all that shit go out the window. Anything else, I'm all about blah, blah, blah. But if you're talking money, oh yeah, all that shit go away. I'm getting that money. That's where we at.
That's where we at.
So is that good or bad?
It's bad. It's not good.
That's what I'm saying.
I can't say it's good.
If you're talking about...
At the same time, when you're feeding your family,
if you talk...
It's good. I know, right?
I don't think it was always like that.
I know, right? It is one of them things that make you like...
I don't think it was always like that. Niggas, they manhood and shit, they value more so than usually a fucking check. Especially if it's like a case where it's our people making a stand against something.
Hard to damn tell.
How do you feel about the stance?
Hard to tell a 22-year-old that when he trying to take care of his mama and his family, but it's hard to tell coming from the ghetto or whatever. Per se.
You think it always was like that? You think, like, fuck if you think. We have examples in history when niggas was like, nah, nigga, my manhood and my people is more important than that other shit. It wasn't that long ago, nigga. Like,
I wanted to buy my mama a house.
When niggas is on strike at companies for more pay and better treatment, if any nigga go outside of that and say, fuck that nigga, I'm going to get my money.
That's where we at, man.
You know, it was a time when that shit wasn't cool.
It's not.
It's more about the, you know, it's more about the weed than it is about the eye. You know what I'm saying? At one point it was like that. I think it kind of should still be that way.
So if you was in
because that's what they use against us.
If you was in that situation, you wouldn't.
How are we ever going to advance when the motherfuckers who got all the money know that all it's going to take is a little money to make niggas say fuck all that shit? They winning, nigga. We don't stand a chance, nigga. They got all the money and they using all the money that they have to pretty much deal with us as puppets and shit. Like, man, just sprinkle a little money, nigga. And they ain't willing to make it.
Or just give them a little nudge. Like you say, a little nudge. Give them a little leeway and let them, you know, we'll handle them accordingly.
None of this shit work if the coons ain't around. And there's levels to cooning, but cooning is cooning.
Levels to this cooning.
Yeah, there's levels to cooning, but cooning is cooning. If you're going against the you know, the group to get individual, whatever, then that's fucking cooning. Especially when we ain't just like two random people in society, nigga. They've been using us and shitting on us for the last 400 years, nigga. Like, how fucking crazy you sound saying, I gotta get that money. We'll never get nowhere. And, you know, since we can't get nowhere, you'll never get nowhere. Because they understand our whole thing about, you know, the one nigga, let's let the one nigga do good. As an example for other niggas, like, Jay-Z doing good, why you can't do good? That whole thing. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
When you look at it, he's doing good because he's playing that role. Fuck what the group is doing. I'm here for you, boss. Like that nigga on Life. You know what I'm saying? You say he say he hot, boss. He tried. That nigga. Like, who the fuck wanna be that nigga? To feel like I don't need your respect. I don't need my own people's respect. I got money, nigga. I go live in my mansion and shit. And niggas be saying it. Rappers say that shit all the time. Fuck your respect, nigga. I don't need your respect as I'm flying over your ass in a private jet. Shit is nuts, nigga. Because white people don't do it like that. They don't have to. You know what I'm saying? And it's simple and plain when you the motherfucking Benedict Arnold. They don't play that shit. They don't play that shit. The group trumps all. Like, it ain't that complicated to these motherfuckers. The people that we are in the war with.
So it ain't complicated?
It ain't complicated to them. Let's go back to that Tony situation. Small, that's a microcosm and a macrocosm. You feel me? Like, we not concerned with what happened. All I know is my team is beefing with that team, so I'm gonna support my team. Period. I don't give a fuck what happened. I know there's an uproar about this shit, and I'm gonna do my part. I'm gonna spend my money with my team. I'm gonna support my team. Fuck the other team. And it's some immature juvenile shit, but
what you say is basically like they do what they want.
They got all the money, man.
So
how? Okay, when you have
so we did the talked about the thing that happened in No Grease before. We did that part, that cast before we found out 2 days later.
It wasn't even 2 days, it was the next day.
The next day that everything had been resolved.
Right.
So you can terminate, resolve when you want to.
On a whim, nigga.
On a whim.
And we were talking about that too. Like, when is it ever that a rental, unless it change ownership, that's the only time that really happens. When an owner is renting and the lessee got perfect payment history, and when it's time to re-up,
and other properties dealing with other properties,
long relationship with these
multiple properties with the same property manager.
Right. So
when do you do that? When does that come into play? And I'm not saying it hasn't happened before with people, but that's crazy, man. Like, whenever we want to, we just do you like we want to do you. Hold on. Hello. All right, y'all come. Go ahead.
Yeah. So the day after we have the podcast episode, conversing about that whole thing. The next day, they come to resolve it. It was supposedly an uproar with the public, people questioning, the whole termination of the lease. And the next day, they was like, okay, we're gonna let you finish out your lease. They didn't, that's it. You finish out your lease, and we'll take it from there, upon blah, blah, blah. Which, anybody with sense is going to feel somewhat slighted, even with the resolution. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't trust you no more. Like, you got a 10-year relationship, you ready to cancel the whole shit? Because by canceling this lease, all the other business is going to be affected, whether it's directly or indirectly. Especially if there's no reason. So what is it about? And why, after one day with a couple people getting upset at your decision, are you willing to reverse it? Is it just because you know you did wrong, or are you playing the long game? Like, okay, we're gonna let them, let them keep it, but especially how the establishment, how spiteful and vindictive the establishment is. Like, just because they spoke up and let it be known what they felt was happening, we're gonna punish their ass more. So we're gonna let them invest that $60,000-$70,000 into the new spot, And when your lease is up, we still gonna kick your ass the fuck up out of there. And let the new company be able to, you know, use that brand new equipment that you installed with that 60, 70 grand. That's the game, man. I don't give a fuck nobody say. You can't feel comfortable in that situation after that. Like, all right, so we're just business as usual, huh? Okay, we good now? Nigga, I don't trust you no more. You know what I'm saying? And there's no reason for me to trust you no more. You ain't even trying to give me a reason to trust you. Like, shit is nuts, nigga. Appreciate it. Oh man, this shit's not good.
What you talking about?
Talking about how the establishment is, man. Like, just because them dudes, you know, stood up for themselves and spoke up for themselves, instead of the, you know, the establishment respecting that, they vindictive, man. They're the type of motherfuckers to, you know, flip the whole shit. Like, okay, you want to speak up and get your little people, you know, in an uproar and shit? We're going to go ahead and let you finish out your lease. Put that little 60, 70 grand into your situation. But you goddamn guaranteed, as soon as your lease is up, nigga, you out. And whatever company we decide to sign up after you, they're going to get to use that $60,000 to $70,000 improvements you made to the motherfucking spot.
I hope not, man.
That's how the establishment is, man. These motherfuckers are. And I've been trying to, you know, stop from using white, although that's what it is. Not necessarily white people.
Because it was a little uproar. It was a news articles on the news and everything. So I'm sure it kind of ruffled the property manager's feathers a little, like, oh, wait a minute, hold up.
Yeah. Like, usually you respect it, like, okay, well, they got people behind them, so maybe we shouldn't fuck with them.
We didn't know they were going to, you know, be behind. I thought y'all cats were just some old haters everywhere.
Yeah, like niggas don't stick together.
Haters everywhere.
Yeah, they're not going to fucking stick up for them. What you think, they're going to get mad and ride for them? Hell no.
They niggas don't stick together. Can't get along. They don't stick together at all. None of them niggas.
And when they saw that, they was like, okay. Oh, so y'all want to speak up and goddamn stand up for yourself, huh? I'll show you, you goddamn niggers.
Yeah.
Well, they put all that money into that shit. Soon as your goddamn leases up.
We're going to let you and then we're going to get you.
Don't fuck around and be late on your payment, nigga. The first time you late, nigga, you out. And they got every right to do it.
Every right.
Yeah, I mean, they have all the rights. I mean, the lessee has rights, but not really. So
basically, y'all better
cut
y'all ass off.
You know, South Park, they ain't got a lawyer. Them niggas got a team of lawyers.
Y'all better cut some hair.
I mean, I would be planning on getting the fuck out of there.
Yeah, but I'm just clowning.
Because it ain't going to be cool from here on, man. That's not how they work. Shit ain't going to be cool. They try to make a power move and niggas goddamn push that shit back in their face. They don't take well to that kind of shit. They like fucking children, man. If you look at the whole establishment, psychology-wise, they move like fucking children. Man.
I got some ice cream.
Yeah.
I got some ice cream.
Oh, you don't want to play ball with me? I'll take my ball. Yeah, that's how they operate, man. You know, fucking higher.
Ice cream.
You know? Bunch of fucking children, man. Children with all the money. How would children act when they got all the money? And you ain't got no money. They gonna goddamn hold that shit over your head. No, I got all the money. You do what I say. I ain't doing what you say. Well, you get nothing. You get nothing. Like, fuck out of here, nigga. The whole Western society, when it come to us, especially us, but, you know, in general, it's some old fucking juvenile shit, man.
What you looking for? Oh, damn. I don't want to floor until because I've been cleaning that shit up.
Yeah, man. Fuck that shit. If I was a niggas, I'd be looking to make new plans. Like, they ain't the only ones with power around here. I would move all my shit away from this shit. Which is, you know, easier said than done, but what else, man? What else?
So, that video I sent you, though?
What's that?
The one where the old boy was talking about that movie. Have you seen that movie? On Netflix, The 100th?
Oh, no.
Okay.
I know what you're talking about.
I started watching it, though.
It's all that cold shit, man. I
don't want to see what he's talking about, man. It's this movie on Netflix called The 100th. the guy's talking about how
That's
he sees some
shit.
symbolism when it comes to the to the whole, I guess the taking your memory and putting it into a storage chip.
Yeah. Flash drive. Shit.
Right. But like I say, man, all that shit go back to that whole blockchain.
Well, yeah, I mean, you know, we talking fucking, you know, when they say that whole singularity thing, you know, artificial intelligence, when they get to the point where computers know enough, they got enough data, enough information where they're autonomous at that point. They don't necessarily need input from humans to do what they're gonna do. It's all figured out in their head. The whole data thing, that's what data's all about. Gathering data and shit. They want all the scenarios in the computer. So the more scenarios and reactions and all the other shit they get, the better they're gonna be able to respond. You know, at this point it's to humans, but at some point it's gonna be themselves. Like, you know, and that's the whole thing with it, like this blockchain shit, right? So when we talking computers, when we talking, you know, robots and shit, it's all numbers. So the way humans are, you know, mankind, that whole thing, you know, the way mankind is, like the way it treats the earth and shit, like we at the top of the whole ladder shit, but we have no respect for the fucking earth. You know, these niggas have cut down the fucking whole forest and plant 5 trees and shit. You know, and claim that they doing something, which they know they ain't, but it's just some shit to tell people. You know what I'm saying? To keep people at bay and shit. Like, no, we just planting them trees. See? Yeah, but you just cut down 500 of them. Yeah, but I mean, you know, that'll, you know, but they understand, computers understand how detrimental we are to society, or just to.
Computers understand how we are?
Yeah.
Detrimental?
Well, not at this point. Or maybe at this point. The whole thing is, it's all computing.
Man, you said the computers understand how detrimental we are.
Yeah, because it's all fucking calculations.
Damn.
So if they have a calculation,
fucking Avengers Ultron shit.
I don't know nothing about that shit. But if they do an equation and the human being is detrimental to the equation, they don't differentiate between the factors in the equation. If it's the humans that they see as the problem, then they gonna fucking focus on the humans. Like, yo, we gotta do something about this part of the equation. They don't look at it like, you know, well, humans are exempt from that whole, you know, equation because humans are the top of the whole. No, it's just part of the equation. So it's like, well, humans are the problem here. If it's, you know, if they studying forestation and shit, and they see that, you know, there's no way to sustain cutting all the trees down for paper and shit, whatever else, wood and shit. If there's no way to sustain, and they could, you know, do the equation with that as the, you know, as a result, then they say, well, we need to get rid of these goddamn humans. You know, the humans are the problem. Let's get rid of them.
That would have to be.
And when the computers are
still had to be programmed though.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's what comes with singularity. That term, when computers can think for themselves. You know, as they gather data, they're getting smarter and smarter and smarter and smarter. It gets to a point where they call singularity, when they no longer need input from the humans.
So from that point, they're making decisions on their own.
Exactly.
The same decisions that they were programmed to make.
Yeah, because they programmed to be.
Damn. You know what that is? You know what that sounds like?
What?
Because we've been programmed.
And that's only
we've been programmed to go against the black community, so that they're computers is gonna be.
Oh yeah, we first.
the computers
because we programmed to be
shit too.
We programmed to be, you know, a problem. Just like we was talking about the other day. Like if a Martian was to just get over this motherfucker, just be hovering over America, just watching how things go, it wouldn't take long for the Martian to be like, yo, what the fuck is wrong with these dark people? Why they seem to be the problem? On the news, they always presented as rapists and shit.
Right.
They all destitute, living in, all together in this building. Like, what the fuck is that whole thing? Why, at this point, if you don't go through the history and you see it for what it is now, it's like, yo, they're the problem. Obviously, we got all these people doing whatever and whatever to add to society, contribute. And these motherfuckers seem like they just taken away from society. We need to do something with those people. There's no, emotion in it. It's all numbers. It's all crunching numbers. So if they crunch the numbers and the humans are the issue, then the humans become the issue. We need to do something about these humans. It seems like they're the common denominator and why the earth is becoming what it is and blah, blah, blah.
These shows will change the face of the next generation.
What were you talking about?
We will be forever embedded into the computer, into the network, into the matrix, into your matrix. By recording and putting this out.
If you look at
going to change the minds of the computers.
There was this dope book, man.
Hey, you just changed the minds of the computer. That shit crazy, man. What you saying?
There was this book I read a few years ago, about 10 years ago, something like that, called Shock Doctrine. The Shock Doctrine by I think it was Naomi Klein. She wrote that shit. And she explained how, like, you got economists who argue that certain societies, certain, economies are better than others. Like they call what, laissez-faire, like the free enterprise, where business has unfettered, unhindered, power to do whatever they need to do for the business. So, meaning regulations are the worst things for business. Like, we don't need no regulations for business, because as long as you let business do what it's going to do, it's going to be successful. They push that whole doctrine. So, with that mindset, it's like, they start actually implementing that shit in different countries and shit. Like, was it Chile with Pinochet and fucking other countries and shit. And, finally here, where it's pushed, like Milton Friedman and fucking Ayn Rand and all these people who philosophies was free enterprise. If I make a business, I don't need nothing. I don't want to hear shit from the government. Let me do what I do. If I do it right, I'll be successful. If I do it wrong, I'll fail. That's what they believe. 100% free reign. But that's not putting people into the equation. It's all numbers. So when they implement it in a real world situation, a whole lot of people died because they had to. You got to get people. People are the issue. People want with their rights and, feeling like they deserve a raise and all that shit. And social programs, where the government is supplying, taxpayer money for a program for this. All that shit got to go. Give people unfettered access to the business and everything will work out.
I think we talked about that one day, free enterprise.
So that's kind of like, it's all about numbers. When you're at the top, like, you can't let the motherfucker at the top have free reign and running a corporation. You have to have HR and these other different departments to check that motherfucker. Like, yo, there's people involved here. It's not just fucking numbers. There's people involved here. You gotta have somebody to check them on that, because to leave it up to them, they don't give a fuck about people. They don't care about no unions and all this shit, which obviously you don't see a whole lot of unions. They don't care about rights and all that shit. They care about making money, the bottom line. So
if the robots come in, then they ain't gotta worry about that shit.
Yeah, when the robots come in, it's all numbers. It's perfect for them. You know, because we don't have to deal with attitudes. We don't have to deal with these damn niggas and their whole fucking slavery talk. I'm so tired of hearing about this slavery shit. Like, ugh. I know we fucked up and it was bad and wrong and shit and we rich because of it. But get over it, nigga. You know what I'm saying? That whole thing. Robots, we ain't got to worry about none of that shit. Motherfuckers think they deserve a raise after 10 years and shit. How you think you deserve a raise and shit? Just because you worked here 10 years and never missed a day and been doing great work the whole 10 years. Fuck you, nigga. I'll get robots. Robots don't need a raise.
Right.
I oil that nigga and that's it.
You right. And you can't help but see what can come out of it. How can you not see what can come out of it?
People don't think, man.
I see, me personally, I see concentration camps.
Yes,
that's coming out of
see, but shit. that's where the whole, what do they say, the daily basic allowance, whatever the fuck income.
What he was saying, yeah, that damn, I can't even remember.
When you get a check just to get the fuck out the way,
what do you call
go
it?
sit in the house, kind of like what they're doing now with this stimulus shit.
What do you call it? Shit.
Basic income, basic
income. Yeah.
Universal basic income.
Universal basic income.
Yeah, so you get a check for just to get out the way. Like, we so devalued as people. We, in the way, like, nigga, we got robots to do this shit. We don't need y'all motherfuckers. So, to get y'all out of the way and keep you happy and you get fat and just, you know, wallow in your shit, whatever the fuck you want to do, you know, go do that shit and we gonna give you a check. Just don't fucking complain. You know what I'm saying? Now robots gonna take care of everything. AI and all that other shit.
Hey, but shit, you got a roof over your head though. You got a roof, got some food, got a bed, comfortable bed to sleep in, a shower to take a shower. What's the problem?
Problem is we have fucking consciousness and shit. Consciences and consciousness and all that other shit.
Maybe the consciousness is.
First of all, we ain't here to be fucking working for no corporation. You know, we ain't here in the first place for that. So the fact that we dumbed ourselves down to the point where we doing that whole thing, like we selling ourselves short now. So to take it that much further to where not only do, you know, we don't value your labor or whatever you offer to the workforce, we willing to pay you to stay out of the workforce.
What would that hurt?
I mean, if you cool.
What would it hurt to be able to say, you know what, plant no garden? Got the food, they get ready to deliver my daggone box of my weekly rations. Mm-hmm. What you call them, kibbles? What would that hurt? Some people might
I have an answer. What's your answer?
My answer? I was telling a guy not too long ago, yesterday, matter of fact, nothing wrong with getting money, but sometimes it's about the journey. You know what I'm saying?
The experience.
The
learning. Learning all these different aspects of business.
Or just life, period. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, instead of somebody just dropping off a box of food, you know what? Let's go back here to this hard work that I put in. And, you know.
Oh, what are you doing? Oh, no, we just about to plant us a little garden. No, ain't no gardens around here. Go sit your ass in the house. When your box usually show up?
See, that ain't
I just got my box yesterday.
What
the fuck is you planting the garden for, nigga?
I feel some type of way.
Huh?
I would feel some type of way.
And that's how it's going to be in all aspects of life. Like, that whole, like, you know, human wanting to explore. Nah, all that exploring shit is dead.
For certain people.
Because it come with other shit, man. It comes with, you know, it's just not just simply paying you to stay at the house. There's other changes that's happening that's all kind of fitting together. Like, that whole wanting to go to Yellowstone Park to go climb mountains and shit, that shit is dead. Because that's no longer, you know, when we talking about Agenda 21 or Agenda, what is it now, 2030?
I was just looking at that.
You read that shit and it's like, it's not simply paying you to sit in the house, nigga. It's paying you to get the fuck out the way our plans do not concern you at this point. If anything, you are a hindrance to our plans. So either you take this check and stay the fuck out the way, or we're gonna lock you the fuck up. Because if you're not staying in the house and staying out the way, you in the fucking way. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck? What are you doing walking the street? You know the goddamn automatic cars is on here and they don't see your motherfucking ass. So it's your fault that you got hit by one of these motherfuckers, and now I got to do all this paperwork and shit. You in the goddamn way.
So you're being conditioned to be the blame. It's your fault.
We already see that's another part of the doctrine.
It's your fault.
We are ready to blame,
and we've given you the out.
And that's some sick shit.
We've given you the out, and it's your fault that you're out here, and you're the one to blame. So yes, we're going to charge you for getting hit by our automated system.
That's like, that's like you feeding a child paint chips with lead in it, and then being, disgusted by the retardation that happens after it. You fed the child paint chips knowing what they was going to do, and now you resent the child for eating the paint chips and being fucked up now. You know what I'm saying? That's what these people are, man. Like, they put fluoride and all this shit in the water and all this other shit. Shit that's intentionally used to dumb motherfuckers down. We talked about the book, Triple DOD. Triple DOA. The deliberate dumbing down of America. It's a concerted effort to dumb people down. The fucking Secretary of Education wrote the book, nigga. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck reason she got to write that book? She wrote that book and she's standing behind that shit to this day. Charlotte Isabel, white lady, man. You know what I'm saying? So, that's the whole thing with the shit being so multifaceted, so many different angles, man. Once you look at all the angles, there ain't no mistaking this shit, nigga. I be looking for good. You know what I'm saying? What good is happening by the establishment? You know what I'm saying?
Right, that's what we're looking for, good.
Yeah, so you look at different countries and shit, like, you look at the healthiest places. That's a whole nother thing. Like, recorded, that whole thing. There's already, skewed facts with Africa and all that shit. So you gotta take that into account too. But when they, and what is health? That whole shit. And what is money? That whole thing. So they study in different societies and, wondering
what is what? What is health?
Yeah. What is health and what is
money? I sent you that I sent you that link too.
What's that?
Old girl was talking about how they was eating before.
Oh yeah.
They brought that food.
Right. And then they got sick.
And they changed their whole diet and they started getting sick.
Right. But, that probably got more to do with excess. They didn't give them limits to it. Like the girl was saying, I was just eating mad cake and shit. So you're going to get sick like that anyway. But the introduction, how was that not the devil, nigga? To go from a society where we don't get sick, we're happy with the situation. Like, it ain't no easy life, but the problems that they really have are minuscule when you look at what they were introduced to. You know what I'm saying? They gotta find their food, hunter-gatherer shit. The men go out and hunt, women stay back and take care of the babies and shit.
Beautiful lie and the ugly truth.
Yeah, so they're introduced, like, yeah, hey, try this. And they're like, nah, I ain't fucking with you. Burying it. You know what I'm saying? Remember she was saying the kids was burying this shit? Like, oh, hey, thank you. I don't trust this shit. They burying that shit. Motherfuckers like, what we do with the food? Oh, we buried it. Oh, no, don't bury it. Try it. Like, could that be a misunderstanding or mistakes? Or was that the intent in the first place? By the settlers, colonials, colonists.
They eating the same thing.
Yeah. But you look at it in America with the GMO. That shit ain't allowed in no other country, but we allow that shit. be free. No. You know what I'm saying? So they eating the same shit. We eating the same shit. Like the people that know ain't eating that shit. They straight organic. But the people that don't, eating whatever the fuck they can. That whole thing. Even if you know, if you can't afford it, you can't afford it. You gotta eat. You know that whole thing. But yeah, man, like same old story. That's Australia. We ain't even talking about it.
I would stop eating it if I was getting sick like that.
But they didn't know. They took time. And then she got better and started eating that shit again. I got sick again. Yeah, it's sugar, nigga. It's kids. You know, up to that. You could see how she was explaining, like, oh, so good. It was, I never had nothing like this. Imagine that.
Right.
You used to eating fruits and natural shit, and you.
But I told my wife that one day, man. I was eating a vegetable tray, and you know, I don't know if I explained this once before, but I was eating a vegetable tray, and I just stopped eating. And I was like, I see why people don't like eating healthy. Well, so my wife was like, why is that? Because it's not filling you up? I was like, no, it fills me up. And it's actually, and I like it. But it's not fun. It's not fun. It's not fun to eat healthy, man. It's not fun to sit there and eat broccoli and daggone raw vegetables. But when you got that cake, that shit's like, scrumptious. You be wanting more and more. Like I say, you can't eat just one. That shit real. It's not fun to drink water all day. Nigga, I want a slushy.
Yeah, something with some flavor.
Right.
Some sweetness. With a kick.
Right.
Shit like that.
And that's why kids get hooked on it so quick. You get hooked on it early in their life, next thing you know, hey, you grown 40 years old, still doing the same thing.
Diabetes and shit. You know, and you look into all that shit and you don't think they did research on high fructose corn syrup and what it do?
They had to.
So
they had to.
They go back to that whole
for their
business.
own good, for their own survival.
See, and that's a whole nother thing with that shit, man. Like, these motherfuckers got the nerve to say, give business, just let business do what it do. But we know how business do. Business be done paid the doctors, paid all the doctors and shit, pay everybody to speak on their behalf type shit. So there is no real discourse being had because everybody bought. That's just a natural progression in business. Like, you
monopolize everything.
Well, I mean, even before the monopoly stage, as you gain in power, that's part of it. Once you start gaining some power, you got to start putting people, buying politicians and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You got to start buying influence, buying, shit like that. That's only natural.
Influence.
So that's another part of it. Aside from just gouging and shit, you start.
Why it's got to be like that? Why do we have to buy? What's good for?
You don't.
But we do.
It's a perfect example before the motherfucker showed up. They go back to that. What the fuck is money?
The beautiful lie. But wait a minute. The money. What would the money be? The beautiful lie, or the ugly truth?
Money is a lie.
The beautiful lie.
Cause it's like, how you even do the math to figure out what money is? I give you gold, you give me money. Now that money is worth the gold that I traded for. Is it? And then you go and buy something else.
So we're hour in.
Already?
Already. So
was I talking about?
Yeah, you were. We both were. But an hour in, I want to do. Before we get done, let's do a bogus segment. Let's do a bogus. The bogus.
That's Kyle shit, man.
It's my shit, nigga.
You came up with bogus?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
The bogus segment. My bogus today is going to be talking about this food. Why is it so cheap to eat bad and so expensive to eat good? When a cow can only have one cow at a time, and a fish can have 1,000 fish in one fertilization. That's some bogus shit to me. That's bogus. What's your bogus?
All right, nigga, damn, you had that shit playing. You didn't tell me nothing about no bogus.
Just come up with one.
Bogus, all this shit bogus, nigga. So, Stanley Kubrick, right? You know, some bogus shit. Stanley Kubrick, right? Pretty much said it. It's some brand new footage to me I seen today. This one. He pretty much said, he ain't said it, but he spoke around it. The point of the fact that he faked the whole moon landing shit. He didn't say it. And I remember when I first seen Eyes Wide Shut for the third time. I'm talking about Stanley Kubrick. So it was promoted as just a movie between Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman. They were married at the time, high profile couple. So it was presented as just a movie about them. When you watch, it's like, what the fuck? Like, it ain't really, I mean, it's about them, but shit on the other side, around it is nuts. Like, the whole point of the movie was, okay, so you see the movie the first, you see it for the first time before knowing everything, the information around it. So you watch it, and it's him and his wife. You ever seen it?
What?
I watch it. No. So it's him and his wife. He a doctor. She artist or some shit. They got money and shit. Living in New York. Living a good life. That's how it's being presented. Got money and shit. It's Christmas time and shit. They go to a party. High society party. One of his clients or whatever calls him like, yo, I got a situation upstairs. Girl don't fuck around and got sick and shit. And, he didn't really know what to do. Damn, they did and shit. So homeboy comes up and he fixes the situation. Then it goes into kind of the underworld. Like, his homeboy from medical school is a pianist. And he sees him at a bar that homeboy's playing at. Homeboy tell him that he, be working gigs for this, different client. But he never knows until the people call him where it's gonna be at and shit. So he telling him about it, but not really telling him because he don't want to get him involved in shit. And homeboy's like, oh hell nah, I need to know what this shit is about. Like, and he like, nah. And he like, man, you gotta, all right, well, fuck it, don't tell me. I'm gonna just write some shit down and you tell me, blah, blah. So somehow he gets the password to this party that, homeboy tells him where the party gonna be and shit. So he get there and shit, he got a cape and shit and all sorts of shit. Homeboy telling him he gotta wear a cape and shit and all sorts of shit, mask and shit. So he pulls up and it's in the castle, first of all. Like, what the fuck, nigga? New York somewhere. He just pulls up in the fucking castle. Like, they got a gate and shit, drive for a minute. Fucking castle, man. So he walk up in there and she got a new mask on and shit. And it's on some old, like, you gonna have to watch this movie, man. It's on some old bitches in red robes and motherfucking red and shit. And he got a cane and there's music. The homeboy playing this wild music in the background and shit. And homeboy's like, what the fuck? So he in there and, you can tell that people notice him. Like, who the fuck is this? But he, going through the motions and shit. And, the whole point of the movie is he get introduced to this. It fuck his world up. He see people that die after this whole party thing. And, he end up, getting back with his wife. And they say, okay, we gonna resolve those. I left the whole shit out. But the point of the, what I'm saying is Stanley Kubrick, right? So you see the movie and you assess it. And it's like, oh, what the fuck was that? Like, he telling me something. And he got a track record of being great at movies, real detailed shit. Everything means something type shit. So, You know, wow, and it take like 3 times, 4 times for me to watch it, and like, and every time I watch it, I catch new shit. But so the movie is pretty much telling us like there's a real underworld shit going on out here. You know what I'm saying? And then after the fact, the whole point. So after the fact, you find out that, you know, first of all, Stanley Kubrick died before the movie come out. Damn, he died before the movie come out. So by the time the movie come out, there's no, you know, obviously you can't speak on it, shit to explain nothing and shit. It's just you take from it what you will, because he dead type shit. Then come to find out the people didn't want to release the movie company didn't want to release the movie in the first place. But they did. But before they released it, they chopped it up and cut out a whole lot of shit from the movie. That he handed them the final product and they took it, he died, then it was like, nigga, all this shit got to go. You know what I'm saying? And just presented it how it was. So you see the movie and you have your opinion or whatever, then you find out the information. It's like, wow, like what the fuck else could be in that? That they, you know, they allowed a certain amount, like you know, what the fuck could they have cut out that they feel was, you know, more dangerous than this shit? You know what I'm saying? So I see this shit this morning that where he pretty much explaining who? Stanley Kubrick. He pretty much explaining that without saying it, obviously, because he can't say it, that he pretty much faked the fucking moon landing. Like that's his film. It's on film. He did that shit himself. You know, and that's been a story for years and years and years, whatever the case is. I had never seen this footage where he actually speaking on it. So, the reason it's a bogus is because, you know, I had my own opinion of it prior to seeing that shit this morning. And then it kind of came to me, or this is just my assessment of it, that the reason they released the movie is because they had an agreement with him. Like, they honor agreements. You know, that's part of the game. You know what I'm saying? The underworld game. Where they make an agreement, they're going to honor that agreement, but it's all going to be skewed because that's the other part of the game. Like, you know, you die, and everybody says suspicious, you know, whatever the case is. So whether they killed him or not, he dies. And you release the movie, and upon release, people just take it for what it is. Then come to find out, they cut a lot of shit out. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? They made the agreement with him, so they honored it, but with the whole funny shit with it. They chopped the shit the fuck up. And he supposedly died. Like, that's still, you know, up in the air, like, what really happened type shit. And then to see this information this morning, it's like, okay, so they made the agreement with him, even though it was skewed. But the reason they, you know, released it, like, my whole thing is why even release it? They released it because they had the agreement, but, like, to know that, you know, our whole shit with the moon is bullshit, and to this day they try to keep that whole lie going, you know, like, the whole shit is just bogus, nigga. Like, if that was really him speaking those words, like, you know, that's a whole other thing. But if it is him speaking the words, it's like, wow, man, I never seen that. You know, I followed that shit, like, that whole story and shit, with the shining and all that shit. But,
So the whole moon landing is bogus.
yeah, like, that's been, like, they already, the conspiracy theorists already figured that shit a long time ago. It ain't.
Damn.
Because, you know, they like, it ain't no stars and shit. Like, where the fuck the stars at on the moon? Like, you on the moon, ain't no stars. Like, it's pitch black, like, everywhere. Just different shit. Like, if there ain't no gravity, why is it dust and shit? Awesome shit. But, I feel like, all you gotta say to me, all I gotta say is Van Allen dose, nigga. That kill any conversation. But, just like what Burrow was saying, like, explain that shit. Why can't they get past them motherfuckers now, all of a sudden? Every time they speak any truth, it's like the Van Allen dose. This is what it is, nigga. That magnetic shit, like, fuck everything up. So y'all did it that one time and can't do it no more, nigga. Fuck out of here. But it's a global fucking thing. Like Russia, what the fuck is the mainstream news as far as the moon is concerned in Russia? I would like to hear that motherfucking conversation with the whole Sputnik shit. Like we beat them in the race to get to the moon. So they had to feel some kind of way. Like fuck, you know, if it was fake and they never made it, wouldn't they feel like, yo, this American shit is full of shit? If somebody, just think about it as people. If you fucking in a race with a nigga and this nigga look like, yo, I just seen this nigga yesterday and this nigga look like he, you know, been lifting weights for the last 5 years and shit, nigga. Like, what the fuck happened since yesterday, nigga? Like, it's obvious that the nigga's on juice and shit. But, you know, everybody in the stand is like, and you like, yo, somebody gonna put a needle in this nigga and check this shit out? And the doctor's like, oh, nah, he good. And you look like, yo, officials. Yo, did we just see this nigga yesterday? You know what I'm saying? They like, nah, he good. Go ahead. And this nigga racing, smoke your motherfucking ass. And, you know, 2 weeks later, he back down to regular size. Like, yo, what the fuck? And you looking like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Because you know the truth. It's all bullshit. But everybody else in the world is like, yeah, America did that shit. Or are they? Or are we the only ones that believe that shit or told that shit? Or other countries like laughing at us like, nigga, the moon shit, y'all believe that? Like, you know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers really still like, what you? So the moon, so you mean to tell me they faked that whole shit? And it's like, oh, you don't even want to have a conversation. It's like, oh, hell, I'm one of them niggas. Like, that shit is just so absurd to you, right? Yeah, I mean, why would they do? Everybody say the same. Why would they do that? How could they do that? And then when we try to break it down, like, oh, you one of them niggas. Oh, he one of them niggas.
Yeah.
All this truth and fucking
math. And that's what I was about to say. I was about to say stay in the truth.
All this truth and math. You want me to do math just to prove your point? I ain't doing no math to prove your point, nigga.
I was about to say that, man. Stay in the truth, people.
Man, I'm rambling, nigga. Fuck it.
It's all good.
I hope this shit, you don't mean something.
Peace.